Pele scored 77 goals in 92 appearances for Brazil, a record that stood for over 30 years. Pele scored 77 goals in 92 appearances for Brazil, a record that stood for over 30 years. He made his international debut at just 16 years old in a 2-1 win against Paraguay. Pele's first international goal came in his 9th game, a 2-1 win over Chile in 1959. He scored 12 hat-tricks for Brazil, including 4 in a single World Cup campaign. Pele won 3 World Cups with Brazil in 1958, 1962, and 1970. He is the only player to have scored in 4 different World Cup tournaments. Discover how analog computers were used in music synthesis, including the creation of iconic sounds in popular music. Analog computers were first used in music synthesis in the 1950 seconds and 1960 seconds by avant-garde musicians. The RCA Mark II, an early analog computer, was used to create sounds for the 1960 seconds TV show Tomorrowland. The Moog synthesizer, developed in 1964, revolutionized music synthesis with its voltage-controlled oscillators and filters. Artists like Keith Emerson and Tangerine Dream popularized analog synthesizers in progressive rock and electronic music. The iconic sound of the Star Wars soundtrack was created using analog synthesizers, including the Moog and EMS VCS3. Analog synthesizers remain highly sought after by musicians today for their unique, warm, and rich sonic. Understand how Barcelona accumulated a massive debt of €1.2 billion and what it means for the club's future, including player transfers and investments. Barcelona's debt crisis began with reckless spending on player transfers and wages. The club's debt skyrocketed to €1.2 billion, making it one of the highest in football history. Lionel Messi's massive contract, worth €555 million, contributed significantly to the debt. To reduce debt, Barcelona must sell players, including stars like Frenkie de Jong and Ansu Fati. The club's financial struggles may force them to abandon their famous La Masia youth academy. Barcelona's debt crisis could lead to a decline in on-field performance and loss of global prestige. Explore how triage was used during World War I, specifically by doctors like Jonathan Letterman, who developed a system to prioritize wounded soldiers. During World War I, medical teams faced overwhelming numbers of wounded soldiers, sparking the need for triage. Dr. Jonathan Letterman developed the first formal triage system, prioritizing patients based on severity of injury. Letterman's system categorized patients into 3 groups: immediate attention, delayed attention, and hopeless cases. This pioneering approach reduced mortality rates by 50% and became a model for modern triage systems. Triage was crucial in World War I, as medical supplies were scarce and transportation was limited. The lessons learned from Letterman's triage system continue to influence emergency medical response. Discover the players who consistently pushed their luck too far, earning them a spot on our list of top 5 red card recipients in the UEFA Champions League. The UEFA Champions League has seen its fair share of fiery players and heated moments. Daniele De Rossi leads the pack with 4 red cards in 58 UCL appearances for Roma. Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Roy Keane are tied for second, with 3 red cards each in the competition. Ibrahimovic earned his 3 red cards playing for Juventus, Inter Milan, and Paris Saint-Germain. The majority of red cards in the UCL are given for reckless behavior, like violent conduct. These notorious players show that discipline can be a major factor in a team's UCL success. Take a journey through the history of the Australian accent, from its British roots to its modern-day distinctiveness. The Australian accent originated from British settlers in the 18th century, particularly from southeast England. In the 19th century, Australian gold rushes attracted immigrants from Ireland, Scotland, and China, influencing the accent. The early 20th century saw a rise in American cultural influence, introducing new words and pronunciations to the accent. Post-World War II, Australian soldiers returned from Britain, bringing back received pronunciation features that blended with the local accent. In the 1960 seconds and 1970 seconds, Australian nationalism led to a deliberate shift away from British pronunciation, embracing a unique identity. Windows Vista was launched in 2007, but it was plagued by bugs, slow performance, and hardware requirements that were too high. Windows Vista was released in 2007 with high expectations but quickly gained notoriety for its poor performance. It required a minimum of 1 GHz processor and 512 MB RAM, high specs at the time. The operating system was plagued by compatibility issues with existing software and hardware. One of the most criticized features was user account control, which prompted users excessively for permission. Windows Vista's development was rushed, with a short 3-year development cycle contributing to its flaws. Microsoft eventually discontinued support for Windows Vista in 2017, 10 years after its release. Analyze the defensive failure that led to an own goal by Chelsea's Thiago Silva during a 2022 match against Real Madrid, and find out what went wrong. Thiago Silva's own goal against Real Madrid was his first in 107 Champions League appearances. The mistake occurred in the 36th minute, with Chelsea leading 1-0 at the Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid's Rodrigo cleverly blocked Silva's clearance attempt, causing the Brazilian defender to panic. Silva's subsequent back pass to goalkeeper Eduard Mendy was underhit, allowing Karim Benzema to pounce. The own goal marked a turning point in the match, as Real Madrid went on to win 3-1. The defeat marked Chelsea's first Champions League loss to Real Madrid since 2012. Visit Loma Linda, California, home to the Seventh-day Adventist community, known for their healthy lifestyle habits, including a plant-based diet, regular exercise, and stress management, which contribute to their high life expectancy. Loma Linda, California is home to a large Seventh-day Adventist community with a unique, healthy lifestyle. Adventists in Loma Linda live 4 to 7 years longer than the average American, with some living up to 10 years longer. Their plant-based diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, contribute significantly to their longevity. Regular exercise, such as walking and cycling, is a key component of the Adventist lifestyle in Loma Linda. Stress management techniques, including meditation and prayer, help Adventists cope with daily pressures. Explore how supernovae forge heavy elements like gold, uranium, and plutonium, essential for life on Earth, and the crucial role they play in the universe's chemical evolution. Supernovae are incredibly powerful explosions that mark the end of a massive star's life cycle. During a supernova, elements like carbon, oxygen, and silicon are forged in intense heat and pressure. Heavier elements like gold, uranium, and plutonium are created through rapid neutron capture, a process known as R-process nucleosynthesis. These heavy elements are essential for life on Earth, with gold used in medicine and uranium powering nuclear reactors. Supernovae disperse these heavy elements throughout the galaxy, enriching the interstellar medium and influencing the formation of new stars and planets.